I will not tolerate such behaviour. If you want to go out now, but if you stand again, I'll lord you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out.
Parliamentary security forcibly removed the Prime Minister from the chamber. He was shouting. Cameras captured everything. The whole world watched a sitting head of government get escorted like a common criminal. This is an unprecedented event in 300 years of British democratic history. It all began with just 7 words from Nigel Farage. What you are about to read is not edited or fabricated. Every second of this explosive confrontation was broadcast live to millions. By the time this clip concludes, you will understand why the United Kingdom will be irrevocably changed. But first, to witness the real-time implosion of power, hit the subscribe button, because the next events are truly astonishing. It was Wednesday at 12:15 p.m. The House of Commons was full. Cameras were set up for Prime Minister's questions, PMQs, the weekly tradition where the PM answers questions from critics. Members of Parliament, MPs, filled the green benches, and the nation was tuned in. Everything appeared routine. Yet, in less than 3 minutes, the entire country would see a breach of 3 centuries of parliamentary custom. Nigel Farage rose to speak. The Reform UK leader had anticipated this moment. He was equipped with leaked documents, immigration data, and a very precise accusation. But this was different. Farage was not yelling or waving documents, his voice was measured, almost clinical. Mr. Speaker, Farage began, the Prime Minister vowed to stop the boats. Instead, we have witnessed 45,000 illicit channel crossings this year alone. Deportation flights have been cancelled, hotels are costing taxpayers £8 million daily, and now secret papers expose discussions with Brussels about rejoining EU migration schemes. Every statement was impactful. Starmer's face tensed. Labour MPs shifted awkwardly. This felt less like political theatre and more like a prosecutor presenting evidence. Farage continued, the British people voted for border control. They voted for sovereignty. What they received was treachery disguised as compassion. When will the Prime Minister acknowledge his policies have failed? The room held its breath. It was harsh, but within procedural limits. Then, the unthinkable happened. Without waiting for Speaker Lindsay Hoyle to call on him, Prime Minister Keir Starmer leaped out of his seat. He pointed aggressively across the room, his voice shaking with pure fury. How dare you? How dare you lecture this government on compassion when you only spread malice and division? The chamber froze. Seasoned MPs who had witnessed decades of tense exchanges stared in disbelief. This wasn't anger, it was an uncontrolled breakdown. Starmer's voice grew louder, you have no right to speak of British values when your entire career has been spent splitting this country. You are a disgrace to this institution. Speaker Hoyle immediately demanded silence, the Prime Minister will resume his seat and address the chamber correctly. Starmer ignored him. He stepped forward, face flushed, wildly gesticulating, this individual has no authority to question our policies when he can't even maintain cohesion in his own party. Hoyle's voice cut through like steel, the Prime Minister will resume his seat immediately. Starmer continued his tirade. The most powerful person in the UK was losing composure on live television. At that point, the Speaker invoked a power almost no one alive has seen used. Standing Order 43. Hoyle declared, and silence descended. This ancient rule grants the Speaker absolute power to expel any member who refuses to adhere to order, even the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is directed to withdraw from the chamber immediately. Starmer paused, stunned. You cannot be serious. I am absolutely serious. Hoyle countered firmly. This chamber will not tolerate personal insults over reasoned debate. Security, please escort the Prime Minister from the floor. Gasps were audible. Cameras flashed incessantly. 2 security personnel approached the Prime Minister. Starmer looked around in desperation, but no one moved to assist him. Even his own MPs remained frozen, avoiding his gaze. This is an outrage. Starmer muttered, his voice defeated. The officers guided him out. His shoulders slumped, his authority seemed to drain with every step. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom walked out of Parliament, treated like a disruptive visitor. Then Farage spoke again, still composed, still deliberate. This is the consequence when politicians cannot defend their failures. They lash out. They fall apart. But the British people require steady leadership, not temper tantrums. The contrast was devastating, one man in control, one utterly ruined. In under a minute, the footage was all over social media. Within 5 minutes, the phrase PM thrown out was trending globally. Within an hour, it dominated news coverage from CNN to Al Jazeera. The numbers confirmed the damage. Starmer's approval rating plummeted by 15 points in traditional Labour strongholds overnight. The fury was intense. Call-in radio shows exploded. If he can't control himself in Parliament, one caller demanded, how can he run the country? Focus groups used terms like unstable, unbalanced, and shameful. Even staunch Labour supporters began to hesitate. Meanwhile, Reform UK's website crashed due to the surge of new sign-ups, and donations soared. Farage held a press conference outside that evening, and his words were scathing. What we observed today was not merely a loss of temper. It was a loss of authority, trustworthiness, and the basic self-discipline necessary for leadership. The Prime Minister could have responded with facts, instead, he chose fury. Britain faces grave challenges: immigration, the economy, our future. We need calm direction, not volatile reactions. That speech garnered 50 million views in 24 hours. International headlines declared it political shockwave. Commonwealth nations quietly questioned the stability of the UK government. Labour entered crisis mode, holding emergency meetings. Deputy Leader Angela Rayner reportedly called Starmer a humiliation. Potential successors like Wes Streeting, Yvette Cooper, and David Lammy suddenly found themselves in the spotlight. The Conservatives, led by Rishi Sunak, immediately called for a vote of no confidence. A prime minister who cannot manage his own emotions cannot manage the nation, they argued. Constitutional experts raised deep concerns. Can an ejected prime minister effectively govern? Has the speaker's power expanded beyond its traditional scope? Did Starmer violate the ministerial code? For 48 hours, Starmer was silent, no addresses, no interviews, no social media. That vacuum allowed others to control the narrative. Reform UK saturated social media with comparison clips, Farage's composure versus Starmer's outburst. The contrast was powerful and brutal. 1 week later, the polling data was disastrous. Labour fell to 28%, its lowest support since 2019. Reform UK climbed to 23%, dangerously close to replacing Labour as the main opposition. The Conservatives reached 31%. The most stunning finding: for the first time, Nigel Farage ranks second in Best Prime Minister polls, ahead of Starmer in former Labour heartlands across the north, where Reform UK now led in some districts. Britain's political map was being redrawn in real time. The media coverage was relentless. The Guardian called it a moment of irrationality. The Mirror bluntly asked, "What have you done, Keir?" Late-night comedians dissected every frame. Memes flooded the internet. Thrown out of Parliament became a common phrase. But underlying the jokes was a darker reality: public faith in politics sank to record lows. Only 23% of Britons expressed confidence in the system. For many, Starmer's meltdown symbolized the failure of stable governance itself. Reform UK exploited this expertly. Farage toured the country, displaying the footage of Starmer's rage before asking crowds, "Is this the leadership you chose?" The unified response was always no. Labour attempted to spin the outburst as passion or courage against extremism. No one believed it. Cabinet ministers defending Starmer looked uncomfortable and unconvincing on camera. The public saw through the facade instantly. 3 weeks after the event, Labour MPs formally submitted letters of no confidence in Starmer's leadership. Senior figures accused him of disgracing the party. The man who secured a historic majority just months prior now fought for his political life. So, this is the current state. A single, explosive moment didn't just hurt a prime minister, it triggered a political earthquake that continues to send tremors through the entire system. The traditional establishment is fracturing. Something new is emerging. This raises the critical questions: will Starmer recover? Or is this his political end? Could Nigel Farage realistically become the next Prime Minister? And what does this imply for British democracy? Is this a one-off failure, or are we witnessing the collapse of the old political order in real time? The answer may arrive sooner than anyone expects. Because if this incident proved anything, it's that in modern politics, everything can fundamentally change in 3 minutes. Do you foresee Starmer resigning? Will Reform UK maintain its momentum? Could Farage actually occupy number 10? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.